well here, but it does show that those fasteners are the shouldered or shanked fasteners that are these ones. Not the ones that come in the little package that you unwrap with the vacuum package. That's these guys. That's these guys. So it's not the set of 8. The bolts that you need to get started at the top are inside the package that comes with the long 3-pin size bolts. And then, so by doing that, you can get it so it'll kind of like loosely hook, and hand start the other one up like so, and then tighten them down together. So doing that allows you to hand start this thing, and you don't have to clamp up anything. It just all kind of hand starts and self supports, and then we'll tighten that in after we're centered up. And it's pretty chill to center. That's how that works, is this thing splices up and it makes it so that squeezes down real hard. If you put this the other way, this is in there and it's like loose in there because the hole's all the way to one side. So yeah, I'm gonna tighten this down. Now when we get to assembling this guy at the bottom, this section that like hooks up in there, that guy, before we do a final tightening on that, we're gonna make sure this thing fits up in here. As you can see, I need to spread it a little bit. In doing so, for that bottom section of this, by the way, we are gonna use those fasteners that came in that pack. As you can see there in the back, that pack has the bolts for this portion of the process, and that's these little shankless, shoulderless set of 8 that comes in the vacuum pack. Hey, just a note, this is a mistake that can be made. So this is like a square hole setup. So these guys need to go that way. That way you have adjustment at the top knuckle, as seen here, and then also sideways. So I need to change these sideways before I tighten them. So that's the appropriate installation. So now you have a leveling opportunity, an X-axis here, and then you have a Y-axis when you install the mast down the center. And then of your 8 original zipper packs bolts, you end up using, you have 4 left at this point of the installation. You have 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And that utilizes your shouldered fasteners at the top and all 8 of your zipper pack that we see there. So at this point, here's an example. You can see that the beam is not level, and you can set this under here level because your mast is going to travel down many feet. So you kind of want to get this guy zeroed in best you can. So we're going to install the mast now, and this knuckle is still loose because it allows the mast to get pinched in there super chill. You're going to have a hole here, and then another adjustment hole here for leveling this way. That's tight and rattled in. So we're tight from here down. The mast will come with this cable on it. That's gonna go up and around and be attached at the top. And inside that bag, we found the shouldered bolts earlier. We're gonna find 4 even longer shouldered bolts, exceptionally longer shouldered bolts. These are gonna be the through pin bolts. There, we'll put that together here in a moment. So here we're installed and we're ready to rattle in. This cable is gonna be run up, wrapped multiple times, and your package comes with a shackle. You use that shackle to wrap as a safety line for the lower mast. So, gonna do one last rattle here in a moment on this fastener and that fastener. And then I loosened these ever so much to be able to make sure I could adjust this guy and that guy. And then, so the work instructions specify that the safety cables go not into the mount itself, but up into the angle. It says around the angle irons. We have some angle iron local that we're wrapped around there. That's part of the structure. As it says, drawn tightly around the mounting structure. So we're hooked into some mounting structure instead of our actual mount. So we're gonna execute this portion of the mount now. What we have left is the bolt pack that had the shouldered bolts for the top splice connection and the through pins. There's 3 of those. 1, 2, and then a third one bolts these other safety cables in place perpendicular to the first of the last 3. The first 2 of the last 3 bolts we have. Then also, we have another pack. This pack was in one of the other boxes than these parts. And these are the bolts that go down through. We can see that more clear here. There they are. No shoulder, full thread. And then we can see our perpendicular association of our long shouldered pin style through bolts. We're gonna put that together. I've loosely fit these so I can land that thing in there, going up with the lift. And then I'm checking and making sure that my housings, if I want all my big ass fan housings to be like pointing the same way, this is the last chance to make all of these the same. So we're matching the one there. You can see the flat side on the left. That's this thing here. We're gonna put the flat side on the left as well. Something to think about if you rush this and just kind of throw it up. You could put that on sideways or the opposite or etc. So we're loose fit. We have our safety cables attached, just like our diagram was. I'm going to tighten our lower splice, lower connection first. Okay, so we are loose by about 1 inch, and we still have a little bit of play. So I can move that a little bit still. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold that level, and these cross pins have just that much left to tighten, and I'll finish those tightenings with that bubble in place. Then we'll have a level lower unit as well as a level upper mast, if you will. And then we'll tighten up this guy, and we have to apply guy lines, 4 corners. Okay, we are off platform. We're floating inside of our cradle of our railings of our lift. We're fastened everywhere. We are level. And critical moment, if your lift isn't dead center right now, there's a damage and safety opportunity and or hazard here, that as you lower, your fan is very close to your inside railings. So make sure you come down chill and, you know, turn your noodle on for this critical moment. And now we'll wrap this thing in a bag and be ready for the painters.